Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. My name is Tia and I make videos on my study abroad experience here in Paris, as well as a lot of other random lifestyle videos like what I eat in a days or like vlog style videos. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe down below if you're interested in keeping up with my channel, and yeah, if you want to get notifications you can also hit the bell button. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. It is so beautiful right now in Paris, so I'm wearing this like little t-shirt because I'm about to head out to meet my friends for a picnic at Luxembourg Gardens, and yeah, it's like 60 degrees, or like if you work in Celsius it's like 18 to 20 Celsius, I think, so it's so nice today and I'm going to take advantage of the good weather. But first I wanted to film this video really quick on my favorite cafes, or more like co-working cafes in Paris, and that's why I'm sitting over here, and I have a lot of room over here. Oh wait, over here? I'm such an idiot. That's why I'm sitting here and I have a lot of room over here because I'm going to be putting images up of the cafes that I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm not gonna like specifically talk about each image because I'm not sure what I'm putting there yet, but they're just gonna be of the cafe either from Google or pictures that I've taken from being there, because I've been to all of these co-working cafes and that's why they're my favorite. In Paris, there aren't really cafes that you can, or there aren't a lot of cafes that you can go in and study, put up your laptop. Like I find in the US, most coffee shops you can work at, so you don't have to like ask them if you can use a computer, and they're not like, coffee shops aren't really for sitting down and talking for hours like they do in Paris, because it's very much the culture here to just sit outside at a cafe, drink your espresso, and read or talk to a friend for hours on end. I feel like in Paris at cafes they want to maintain that culture and maintain that environment. They don't want people just like sitting in their cafe for hours, only having bought one drink and being antisocial on their computer. So as a result, they have these co-working cafes. So they're either cafes that you pay per hour. So an example of one of these cafes is Loustic Café, which I actually haven't been to, but I think it's the most famous out of these co-working spaces, where you pay per hour and then you get unlimited drinks and unlimited snacks. The only thing is that the snacks are pretty limited, so it's just going to be like biscuits and cookies and maybe bread and a toaster and Nutella, and then you kind of those are what you can help yourself to, but at least the drinks are usually pretty extensive, so they'll usually have as many options as a normal cafe does. So yeah, and then besides those ones that you pay per hour, there are also just other cafes that have a more friendly working environment, so ones that aren't necessarily like bistros and actually have like outlets on the tables for you to study at, although a lot of them ask that during the weekends you don't bring your computer, and maybe during rush time hours like during lunch that you don't stay on your computer taking up spaces, because that is obviously not so good for their business. So yeah, out of all those kind of co-working cafes, these are my favorites. Okay, so I'm going to start with the ones that you pay per hour, and I have three favorites here. So I actually have never been to Nuance Café, but I get the idea that it's pretty similar to these ones, but it also has limited snacks, and so some that I found that are similar to Nuance Café would be Hubsy. So yeah, I've been to Hubsy once. It was really great. I was able to have an espresso, and then I had a tea, and I had some biscuits and Nutella, and they had a wide range of snacks from granola to cookies. So I really enjoyed the working environment there, and it was 2 stories, so they had a ton of room for studying, and that one I think was actually, I'm not sure about the price exactly, so I'll just put it down here, but they're usually either from 4 to 5 euros per hour, and I think Hubsy's on the more expensive side, but it's in a really nice environment. They have a really big window up front, so you can people watch while you're doing your work, and it's facing a really beautiful church. So yeah, I really enjoyed the working environment there, and the staff were really friendly, and it was really quiet when I went. The second co-working cafe is I don't know how do you say this, it's Le 1010, or like Le 10H10, so probably like Le 10H10, but I'm probably wrong. It's $10 for the whole day, and then I think they might be open 10 hours, so I think that's why it's called that. But anyways, I went one time with my friends for a group project, and they were so accommodating. We came in a group of 4, and they politely asked someone who was sitting at a table of 4 to move to a single table so we could use it. So they made space for us, and at that particular location it just opened, so it was only €2 per hour, which is awesome. And then I know that they have a brochure on their website that gives you the first hour free at their other location, which has been open for longer. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It's also very spacious. You can rent out private rooms as well, or just reserve them. I don't think they are any extra cost besides the hour cost that you're paying. And the only difference between that one and Hubsy is that this one you make your own drinks. So they have like an espresso machine and a kettle, so that can be a drawback because it takes more time to make your own drinks, but then also you can just help yourself. And it's like they have a little mini kitchen, so I think you could probably bring food to heat up, and they had like knives and cutting boards and stuff. You did have to do your own dishes though, so it was more like going to someone's apartment and working, but in a much nicer and more spacious environment. But yeah, I really liked that one as well. It had a very antique-y feel to it. And then the third paper hour cafe that I want to talk about is Craft Cafe, and I think out of the 3 ones that you pay per hour, this is my favorite, and this is the one that I'm probably most likely to go back to, just because one, instead of having you pay per hour and then having unlimited drinks, it's more of like a minimum purchase per hour, so they want you to spend at least €4 on food or drink per hour. And the difference between Café Craft or Craft Cafe and the other ones is that they actually have real food. So when I went, I stayed 3 hours, paid €12, I think it was €13, but I got a matcha latte, I got a salad, and I think I got maybe like a meringue or a cookie or something. So it was like a whole meal plus a drink for the amount of time that I was there, and I went during dinner time, so that was my dinner. So it was actually really worth it, and they have plugs on the tables. It's definitely for co-working. It's in a really cute area. And yeah, it's definitely one of the ones that I'm going to go back to for sure. And then right near Café Craft actually is another one that I really love. It's called Loustic Cafe, and that one's a really great one to work in. They also have real food and really great coffee, and it's really cute decor. This is actually the first co-working cafe that I went to here in Paris, and the only thing is it is a very small space. So I went with a few friends, and they were able to clear up space for us, which I always find is so nice when the people there accommodate you and your group, so that's why I liked it so much. But they did have really limited space, so if you're trying to snag a spot there with a lot of people, then I would recommend heading there pretty early in the day. Alrighty, I have 3 more cafes to share with you guys. The next one is Strada Café, which is in the 5th, so it's really convenient for me to go there because it's so close to school. And yeah, it's a great working environment. It's definitely for working because it closes at 6:30 and it opens pretty early in the morning, I think. And when I went, it was with, again, a group of people. They made sure there was room for us, and the waiter was so nice. As soon as we got in, he gave us some menus, and he got us water and cups, which actually is really rare in France. You usually have to ask for water first. And he was really tentative, kept coming back, asking if we needed anything, which kind of reminded me of service in the US because I've never experienced that kind of service here. So that was really nice. And yeah, they had no problem with us working on our laptops. The only thing to note is that on the weekends, they don't allow you to use your laptop during the hours of like 10 and 2 or 10 and 4, something like that, because they get pretty busy, and I think they have a pretty big brunch crowd that comes in. So yeah, they also have real food, and they have really nice cakes and pastries that they make there. So that's another really great one, especially if you're going to school in the 5th or 6th and living around this area. It's very close. Actually, all the next ones are really close to school, so these are all really great options to go to if you don't want to travel really far to go to a cafe. The next one is actually right next door to me, and so it's not one of those ones that you will read about on Time Out or look up online and it'll say really great co-working space. It's just one that I discovered because it's so close to me and I've actually found is a pretty great place to work. I took a group there to work on a group project and they have Wi-Fi. It takes a little bit for the Wi-Fi to connect, but they do have free Wi-Fi and they have a ton of tables. So the only thing is this cafe is kind of like a mix between a cafe and a bar, so it's open from noon to midnight, I think every day, and obviously when you get towards the later hours people are going to be drinking there, it's going to be louder, and I don't think that they want necessarily it to be a working environment. So if you want to work there, I would head in earlier, from around like noon to anywhere from 5 to 6. I think that it's a really great space to work in. And then lastly, this is actually my favorite cafe. I've already gone twice and I discovered it last week, and that is Nuance Café, and it's actually one that I didn't discover online either. I was just walking to the Grand Mosquée de Paris, like the big mosque of Paris, and I passed it and they have a big neon sign in the back that says Nuance, and I saw some people on their computers there and I wrote it down because it looked like a really great working environment. And I was right. I've taken my friend Nora there and she is obsessed with it. She wants to go back every day. They have really great lattes. They also have milk alternatives, which is pretty rare in Paris. They have like a mix of almond and rice milk, which some of the other cafes that I mentioned also have milk alternatives, but this is the first one that I kind of asked for it. Usually I just get an espresso. What else? Oh yeah, it's Vietnamese owned, so they have, what is it called? They're not banh mi's. They have like bao sandwiches, which I'll put a picture. Yeah, there we go. I'll put a picture here. I didn't have one, but I'm sure I'll be able to find one online. And they also have other foods, so I had a soup and my friend had a salad, and it's a really healthy place to go. They have outlets on the tables. It does get pretty busy at lunch, so I would recommend going earlier as well, or like in between rush hours. They open at 8, so I've been as early as 9 and stayed till around noon when it started to getting pretty busy. And yeah, it's really great. The people who work there are really nice. They speak English, and yeah, that one's definitely my favorite. I think it's still also pretty under the wraps because I haven't found it really on any of the websites that I've looked up that have a list of the good co-working cafes, which is where I found a lot of the other ones that I've talked about and gone to. So yeah, those are my favorite co-working cafes in Paris. I hope this video helped you because I know I'm always on the search for new cafes that I can work in that aren't going to cost me an arm and a leg, like some of the really expensive co-working ones. And I always just want to get out of my house and work in a great environment. And sometimes the library is great, but it also doesn't have food or drinks. So yeah, I just like that cafe environment to work in. So yeah, that's all for today. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye!